Good evening, fans. Welcome to Jeld-Wen Field. Tonight, your Portland Timbers take on AIK. We hope you have a wonderful time tonight and remind you to see an usher if you need any assistance. Major League Soccer, the Portland Timbers at Jeld-Wen Field prohibit objects being thrown from the stands onto the field or within the stadium. Persons disregarding this policy will be removed from the stadium immediately. Thank you for your cooperation and sportsmanship. Any patrons entering the playing field will be subject to immediate prosecution. Fans, be sure to check out all of the great preseason merchandise specials happening now at all stadium retail outlets, and prepare for the Timbers' brand new jersey by pre-ordering online now at shopportlandtimbers.com. Papa Murphy's is excited about their partnership with the Timbers in 2013. If the Timbers score 3 goals tonight, you score 2 with free cookie dough from Papa Murphy's. Please see the guest services representatives at various exits for your coupon for 1 free cookie dough, courtesy of Papa Murphy's. The coupons can be redeemed at any local Papa Murphy's. Papa Murphy's, join the Take and Bake revolution. Planning an event for 2013? Provide your guests with an unforgettable experience at Portland's most unique event venues. Jeld-Wen Field now offers an exquisite banquet room, fully equipped conference center, luxury suites, and other unique stadium space. For more information and pictures of our event spaces, please visit jeld-wenfield.com. To reserve a space or take a private tour, please call 503-553-5429. Pints up, Portland. Raise a pint at Whitner Brothers Green and Gold Kolsch as you cheer on your Timbers. Brewed in collaboration with the Timbers Army, Green and Gold is made for Timbers fans by Timbers fans. Green and Gold Kolsch from Whitner Brothers Brewing. Since 1960, when Jeld-Wen began with one Oregon millwork lamp, we've been dedicated to crafting reliable windows and doors. Today you can see, touch, and feel reliability in our beautiful windows and doors because of their durability, energy efficiency, and worry-free performance. We measure success by the relationships we build with our customers, suppliers, and communities where we live and work. We've partnered with organizations such as the Green Building Initiative, which accelerates green building practices by promoting environmentally progressive approaches that are practical, affordable, and accessible. Here is tonight's Timbers Injury Report, brought to you by Sports Medicine Oregon. Tonight's Timbers Injury Report brought to you by Sports Medicine Oregon, restoring active lifestyles to injured athletes of all ages. Portland Timbers would like to give a special thank you to our founding partners, Adidas, Alaska Airlines, Burgerville, Jeld-Wen Windows and Doors, Key Bank, PGE, Providence Health and Services, Root Sports, and Whitner Brothers. Hey fans, listen up. Timber Joey milkshakes and smoothies are back in season, created for Timbers fans in celebration of Burgerville's founding partnership with the Portland Timbers. Enjoy a true Northwest original at Burgerville today. Don't root hungry. The Timbers make every effort to support our community pillar partners, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Portland Youth Builders, and Friends of Trees throughout the year. Share your love of sports by becoming a sports buddy with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Learn how students at Portland Youth Builders are building up our city and rebuilding their lives. And help improve your neighborhood by planting with Friends of Trees. To learn more about Timbers in the community, follow at PT Stand Together on Twitter. Now accepting deposits for Thorns FC season tickets. Alex Morgan, Christine Sinclair, and the Thorns open the home campaign on Sunday, April 21st at Jeld-Wen Field. Don't miss any of the 2013 season. Place your deposit by calling 503-553-5555. Timber fans, please turn your attention to the video board as we check out tonight's birthdays and special messages. Happy 12th birthday, Ian Dibble, RCTID. And happy 8th birthday, Simon, RCTID. All right, fans, let's meet the starting 11 presented by Tire Factory. First, for AIK. In goal, number 27, Ivan Turina. On defense, number 45, Daniel Mastrosovic. Number 16, Martin Lorenzen. Number 6, Alexander Milosevic. Number 4, Nils-Eric Johansson. Number 24 in midfield, Daniel Gustafsson. Number 15, Robert Quaison. Number 14, Nabil Bahoui. And number 10, Celso Borges. At forward, number 36, Pinot Goitom. And number 21, Kennedy Igbo Ananaiki. Available substitutes for AIK include number 13, Kenny Stamatopoulos. Number 2, Nicholas Bachman. Number 5, Robert Amon Persson. Number 7, Helgi Danielson. Number 25, Sand Lundholm. Number 11, Lalaweli Adekora. Number 22, Kwame Karakari. And number 28, Victor Lundberg. And now, let's meet tonight's starting 11 for your Portland Timbers. Starting in goal, number 1, Donovan Ricketts. On defense, number 2, Ryan Miller. Number 25, Dylan Tucker Gagnes. Number 35, Andrew Jean-Baptiste. And number 5, Michael Harrington. At midfield, number 21, Diego Chara. Number 8, Diego Valeri. Number 4, Will Johnson. At forward, number 11, Khalif Al Hassan. Number 9, Ryan Johnson. And number 6, Darlington Nagbe. Reserves for the Timbers tonight, number 90, Jake Gleason. Number 44, Kyle Altman. Number 22, Rodney Wallace. Number 7, Sal Zizzo. Number 14, Ben Zamansky. Number 20, Jose Valencia. And number 45, Frederic Piccioni. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats as we play the Swedish national anthem, followed by Annie Mancini, who will honor us with her rendition of the Star Spangled Banner.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
That is it. The 2013 season for the Portland Timbers begins in 8 days against the Red Bulls from New York, which means today is the final quiz for a brand new coach in Caleb Porter and his Portland Timbers side as the preseason tournament continues at Jeld-Wen Field in the Rose City. This afternoon, the Timbers will face a team from Stockholm, Sweden, AIK. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Timber Soccer on 750 The Game. I'm Keith Blyer, along with former MLS goalkeeper Aiden Brown. Aiden, this will be the last test, so we expect a full-fledged performance out of these Timbers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I think tonight is the night you want to clean up those mistakes you had on Sunday. You know, limit those defensive mistakes, really capitalize on your chances, see if you can keep the ball, but most importantly, don't let them score in the first 2 minutes.
Timbers come in with a preseason record of 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. AIK, they have yet to score a goal during a 3-week trip in the United States. They have drawn 2 games, both 0-0 score lines, and both here at Jeld-Wen Field. They lost their opener against the Ventura County Fusion, a PDL side down in Southern California, to start this journey to the USA. Here are the Tire Factory starting lineups, and we begin with the visitors. AIK Almana Itrotskluben. I tried. Ivan Torina is the goalkeeper. He is a Croatian, and they will go in a 4-4-2. Martin Lorenzen, Nils-Eric Johansson, Daniel Masterovic, and Alexander Milosevic, the back 4, as we have begun with the Timbers working their way toward the south end of Jeld-Wen Field. The midfielders for AIK, Robin Quaison, Daniel Gustafsson, Nabil Bahoui, and the playmaker for this AIK squad, number 10, a Costa Rican, Celso Borges. The 2 forwards in a 4-4-2 are Henrik Goitom and Kennedy Igbonike, a Nigerian. They are under their coach Andreas Olm, who is a man that has seen 150 matches as a player in Sweden and has taken over this AIK squad in December of 2010. Early free kick here for the AIK squad, and it will be Nabil Bahoui on the ball about 30 yards from goal. We'll get the Tire Factory starting lineups for the Timbers to you in a moment. But first, the free kick from Bahoui as players queue up inside the 18. In-swinger to the penalty kick spot, headed by Ryan Johnson up and over his crossbar. Starting 11 for the Portland Timbers, and we're going to see a lot of these numbers and faces and names, I think, in 8 days when the season gets underway full stop. Donovan Ricketts is the goalkeeper. Michael Harrington, Andrew Jean-Baptiste, Dylan Tucker Gagnes, the rookie, and Ryan Miller are the back 4. The 5 midfielders, or if you want to call it a 4-3-3, I suppose just 3 midfielders, but that formation is very flexible, are Darlington Nagbe, Diego Valeri, Diego Chara, Will Johnson, and Khalif Al-Hassan. And the target man is Ryan Johnson. Here's a corner kick early from AIK. Diving punch by Donovan Ricketts. Ball bounces about 35 yards from goal. Collected for a moment by AIK, but stolen away by Chara. Here comes Diego. He's got the other Diego to his right. Plays it to the Argentinian. His shot is off the mark, but he was also offside. Head coach of the Timbers, you should know his name by now, Caleb Porter, just 37 years old. That preseason record of 3 wins, 2 losses, and a draw.
And what a great opportunity missed there by the Timbers. They almost had a 3v no one, or a 3v goalkeeper, and unfortunately Diego Valeri kind of drifts out wide, cuts in front of Diego Chara, and they just weren't able to create anything from it, unfortunately.
Hard to say when that offside flag goes up if the passes come in too late or Valeri has mistimed his run, or if it's a combination of both. Can't really point a single finger. Ball driven into the Timbers defensive half. Khalif Al-Hassan will drive one down the line, and Daniel Masterovic will leave it for the goalkeeper, Ivan Torina. Torina wearing a tangerine top and long black pants, as AIK plays in an all-white kit. Timbers in their familiar Timbers green tops, white shorts, and green socks. Nagbe collects and plays it out to Harrington, gets it back, does Nagbe, into the feet of Ryan Johnson. Quick combination attempt, but a little too much on that one, rolls over the far touchline. The officials in this match are Baldomero Toledo, he's the man in the middle. The assistants with the flags are Kevin Duliba and Mike Rottersman, and your 4th official is Drew Fisher. The captain, Nils-Eric Johansson, drives one down the line, and there's a foul at midfield. Al-Hassan chops down an AIK midfielder who's bent over, can't really identify him at the moment. And that is Henrik Goitom, I believe, that went down in midfield. Yep. Goitom, the Swede, slow to rise and very gingerly walking away, favoring that left foot. It's a chilly afternoon, as it should be in February in the Rose City. About 46 degrees at kickoff. 30% chance of rain for this one. The winds are down. Very low winds, which really makes it ideal conditions for a preseason soccer match in the winter. Darlington Nagbe gets the ball from Diego Chara, then plays it out wide, intended for Johnson, who gets a touch, but AIK is one possession back, and Mestorovic goes back to his keeper, Torino, who drives one forward. Dylan Tucker Gangnes rises and wins a header. Big moment here for Tucker Gangnes. Has worked his way right into the consciousness of Caleb Porter, huh?
Yeah, huge moment for him. Rookie year, starting last preseason game before the season starts. This is a huge opportunity for this young kid.
Gangnes sticks his head in again, keeps it away from the AIK midfielder. Ball comes square to Khalif Alassane. Alassane to the feet of Diego Valeri, one touch wide. That one is intercepted out here by Nabil Bahoui, but he cannot get around Ryan Miller, and Miller earns a throw in at midfield. He looks back at his coach, Caleb Porter. Porter wearing the almost a three-piece suit down there in the technical area tonight. Brown pants and a blazer. He's got the sweater vest on underneath. His counterpart, Andreas Alm, going with a tracksuit look for this one.
Ryan Miller, no stranger to the Swedish league, as he's played the last 3 years in the Swedish First Division with Halmstad.
Yeah, I'm sure he sees some familiar faces.
Yep.
Players he's gone up against in competitive matches in Scandinavia. Jean-Baptiste with a touch, and the ball bounces into the center circle. A pair of sixes tangling there. Milosevic and Nagbe. Ball controlled again by the Timbers. Cagey start here by both sides, as the ball has spent most of its time in the middle third of the pitch. We're in the 7th minute, no score. Timbers and AIK. Final trial for this PTFC side. Ball played forward by Kennedy Igboinike, but over the byline, and a goal kick here for the Timbers.
You talk about good pickups for the Portland Timbers, and I look at Will Johnson right away. You see him get stuck in the midfield and just kind of throw his arms and kind of give his body a little bit. He's one of those types of guys that you love having him on your team and you hate playing against him. And everybody I've talked to has said the same exact thing. Love the guy if he's on your team. If not, you want nothing to do with him.
You know what? I think the Timbers have two of those kind of guys now, sitting right next to each other in the midfield. Diego Chara is a player that you love to have on your team, you hate to play against.
Yep.
And here is Ryan Johnson with a touch, leaves it for Valeri, who shoots with the right boot from 18. And a diving stop, sprawling forward, is Torino. So the first shot on frame in this one goes to the Timbers in the 8th minute.
Valeri's not afraid to have a go. We saw against San Jose on Sunday where he's not afraid to run at the defense and have a few shots.
Mesterovic's pass is picked off by Jean-Baptiste, and now Diego tries to play it in. That's Valeri tries to play it into Ryan Johnson, but it's picked off by the Swedish defense. AIK coming forward, and a foul at midfield called on Daniel Gustafsson. He had a team-high 3 shots against FC Dallas last week. Called for a foul at midfield. Switching the point of attack is the Timbers. Valeri out wide to Ryan Miller, already getting into that advanced position. Did that very well last week against San Jose. Valeri with a touch at the corner of the 18 to Alassane. Back to Valeri. He's got some space, works toward the byline. Sliding tackle made by Bahoui, and the ball is kicked out. But a corner kick here, earned by the Portland Timbers in the 9th minute.
And you can see Ryan Miller's movement kind of create a little bit of difficulty for that AIK defense. Leaves Valeri open out wide. Unfortunately, he's not able to get a good touch in and whip it in.
Nagbe shows short for Valeri, but AIK wisely sends two men out to the corner arc, and so Valeri will most likely just swing this one in with a right boot. It'll be an outswinger. 5 players in the 18 for the Timbers. Ball headed away by AIK, collected by Harrington. He'll go wide quickly to Diego Chara. Chara defended by Borges out there, and Borges gets a block. Harrington, one-touch pass, right back to Chara. Again, 1v1 in the corner on Borges. He'll drop for Harrington. One-touch pass to Will Johnson. Gets his head up and puts too much on that one. Intended for Andrew Jean-Baptiste, the center half, who was still hanging out in the 18 after the corner kick.
With a guy his size and his leaping ability, why not throw it back in the box to him?
We're talking about the movement of Ryan Johnson up top, and I think, Aiden, that's really the beauty of this 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 system. Ryan Johnson kind of up there alone, has all of that room to move laterally across the field, can check back, can check wide. He's not always running up the backside of another forward. Alassane to the feet of Valeri. Valeri back to Alassane. Stepping out to defend is the captain Nils-Eric Johansson. And now Nagbe getting around Robin Quaison. Leaves for Chara. Chara tries to feather one in for Ryan Johnson, but the ball is knocked out and off the foot of Johnson by Daniel Gustafsson. Goal kick, AIK.
Yeah, talking about Ryan Johnson being up top all alone, that leaves so much space up there for those 5 central midfielders or wide midfielders to get into that space, to make those runs, and even for those outside backs to get forward into.
And you can tell that Caleb Porter has already instructed Diego Valeri to start this match very high. I mean, if you look at where Valeri is as they take the goal kick, he does look like a second forward in this formation. Torina plays one after getting the ball dropped to him to the far sideline, and it's won by the Timbers. Valeri with a great one-touch pass into Darlington Nagbe. He shoots and just misses the far post by about 1.5 feet. What a pass by Valeri. Dude's a playmaker.
Really is. The vision on the guy is unbelievable. We saw the 2 assists he had in the game against San Jose, and he's just bringing it to this game as well. The vision he has with Darlington Nagbe making a phenomenal run from the outside midfield, cutting across the defense of AIK. He couldn't have waited a more perfect ball.
Nice diagonal run, too, by Darlington Nagbe. Let us not forget the movement by the third-year Timber, combining well with the brand-new man in Timbers green.
And I think that's something that Caleb Porter has stressed from the very start of preseason, is the movement from those outside wingers.
Borges finds a front runner, and he is pulled from behind by the Timbers. Nope, they're going to call an offside on one of the AIK forwards. I believe that was Goitom, who was called off by the assistant on the far side. Bit of a break there for the Timbers because Goitom was also being held back. Could have called a foul, but obviously he came from that offside position, so that was the first infraction. Alassane drops to Jean-Baptiste, square with a one-touch to Tucker Gagnes. The 2 men with 3 names apiece in the center of defense for the Timbers, and both very young, in Dylan Tucker Gagnes and Andrew Jean-Baptiste. One from Washington, one from the University of Connecticut. Cross out on the far side is blocked by Darlington Nagbe. It'll be a throw-in for Martin Lorenzen, the right back for AIK.
What I've really liked from Gagnes is his composure. He's not afraid to look up and try and play the ball. He's really calm and collective on that ball.
Lorenzen plays into Goitom, and Goitom has spent more time falling to the ground in this match than running forward with the ball. He's holding his face. I think he's saying that Harrington got him with a stray hand or elbow, and there will be a stoppage here just for a moment. Not sure if he'll need to be attended to by the physios for AIK. A club out of Stockholm, Sweden, as we have mentioned already. They play in the Allsvenskan, which is the top division in Sweden. They finished in 4th place in that league last year, just missing out on an automatic spot to UEFA's Europa League. So this is a team that has faced many of Europe's greatest. And here's an early shot, bending, going for the upper 90 on the far post was Bahoui. And he misses by a significant margin. It'll be a goal kick here for man in turquoise there, just below the Timbers Army, Donovan Ricketts.
Tonight, a much better start from the Timbers defense. Last week against San Jose, they were able to give up 1 in the first 2 or 3 minutes. And you like to see a club, especially at home, control the game, especially those first 20 minutes.
Flick on header by Ryan Johnson is read very well by Nils-Eric Johansson. He heads forward, and now AIK possesses here in the 14th minute. Keith Blyer, Aiden Brown, Fletcher Johnson. The Timbers preseason tournament. Portland looking to wrap up the games where the results don't matter with a victory. As Caleb Porter says, we always play to win. Ryan Johnson gets one served to his feet, can't quite hold it up. Ball played in, but then won back quickly by the Timbers. Alassane served by Will Johnson, and Nils-Eric Johansson, the very experienced Swede, takes it off of Alassane, and he plays back to Daniel Masterovic, who is a regular for the Swedish national team. Big player back there in the center of defense for this AIK squad. Nice combination play by AIK at midfield. Ball won, however, by Ryan Miller. An errant pass was nearly taken into a dangerous spot by Kennedy Igbonike. Instead, here come the Timbers. Harrington, straight down the field, just off the edge of the 18 to Ryan Johnson. Pulls back the 45 for Valeri, but well read by AIK and carved down. Harrington back on the ball, into Valeri's feet. He's double teamed, and Alexander Milosevic thumps it forward. AIK not doing a great job of building out of the back. They're just giving it right back to the Timbers each time. Ricketts drives one forward, and that will bounce all the way to his counterpart, Torino.
Definitely helps, like having a guy like Diego Chara winning the ball back for you in that midfield. He's always sitting in that space right in between the forwards. He's such a great winner of the ball.
Well, you say it, it happens, Aiden, as Chara wins the ball and is fouled by Robin Quaizon. So the makeup of this AIK squad, they got 8 Swedes in the starting 11. Croatian in goal, 1 Nigerian in Igbonike, and the Costa Rican Borges, the playmaker. And as we know, the Timbers have players from pretty much all over the globe. An international game, even in Major League Soccer. Ball driven forward and headed down by Tucker Gangnes. And AIK has possession. This is Quaizon looking for Goitom. Goitom, right-footed touch inside the 18. He's at the end line, pulls it back, but the only player there and showing great poise is Tucker Gangnes. He plays into the feet of Valeri, and a foul is called by Baldomero Toledo. Quick restart here by the Timbers. Darlington Nagbe on the dribble. That is when he's most dangerous, shoots, and that ball was knuckling a little bit. Torino had some trouble. Has to just parry it away, and now it's Alisson in the corner. Defended by Eric Johansson. And out of bounds. That's last off Alisson. It'll be a goal kick for the Swedish side.
That's what I want to see more out of Darlington Nagbe this year. Turning with the ball, taking on players, dribbling at goal, and having shots from distance.
I think in theory, putting him out wide rather than always checking back into the heart of the pitch will give him those opportunities to face up and find that space. With Valeri now more central, Nagbe a wider player, if you will. Ball headed forward by Chara. Johnson challenges. Jean-Baptiste header in the center circle. Volley touchdown by Alisson. Now a diagonal ball from Valeri to Ryan Johnson. His left-footed shot is blocked. Great sliding block by Milosevic. Timbers still in possession. Nagbe spins his defender, drops for Harrington. On the far side of the pitch. Harrington goes square to Valeri, about 40 yards from goal. Ooh, crafty touch to Chara. Now wide to Nagbe. Nagbe's got his head up and he's dribbling again. Aiden plays it square across the box. And a volley out by Masterovic. Tucker Gangnes with a header at midfield, but right to the feet of Gustafsson. And now Lorentzen. Lorentzen turns and drops it back for his keeper, Torino.
You know what I've really liked from the Timbers here today, and it happened some Sunday, they really are trying their combinations in the box. I mean, it's almost similar to Barcelona style. They don't want to take shots. They try and use their combinations through in the box and try and move off those combinations and create some space. And it's really been dangerous here tonight.
It has, and it's all fine and good, but as a lifelong Arsenal supporter, there are moments when you want to just ditch the triangle passing and have a crack. And I think that it'll be interesting to see the Timbers evolve and decide when it's time to shoot, when it's time to play make. Nagbe dribbling into the 18, and that's a loose touch out of Nagbe over the byline. Goal kick here for AIK in the 19th minute. Every time the Timbers score a goal this season, just like last year, the club in Jeld-Wen will plant a tree in the Portland community through a partnership with Friends of Trees. Jeld-Wen, windows and doors, an official partner of the Portland Timbers.
I think something that we haven't seen in previous Timbers teams is that this team has a number of ways they can attack. It's a multifaceted attack. They can get their outside backs involved. They get most of their midfield involved, Ryan Johnson involved. There's a lot of talented, dangerous attacking players involved in this system.
Torino drives one forward. Nagbe and Gustafsson rise. It's off Nagbe out there. It'll be a throw-in at midfield on the far side. Not a huge crowd at Jeld-Wen Field. We're used to sellouts. This one definitely not sold out, but the Timbers Army in full voice. They can't wait for what comes a week and a day from now. In fact, as I look at my watch, we'll be in the second half 8 days from now against the New York Red Bulls. Game will kick off at 4:30 on Sunday, March 3rd. The true debut of Caleb Porter and these rebuilt Portland Timbers. No fewer than a dozen players that were around last year gone, and as many replacing. Corner kick here for AIK. Outswinger bounces at the penalty spot, and it's cleared by Will Johnson. Running all the way across the pitch to collect and thump it out of bounds is Gustafsson. I thought he could have done a little bit more with that. Instead, he gives a throw in for the Timbers, but it is halted due to a pair of balls on the pitch. So the ball boys are in preseason form as well here this afternoon.
I swear, Diego Chara is the Energizer Bunny. That guy gets up and down the field more than any single player I've seen.
Well, I asked the question, how many miles does that guy run in a match? And Harrington curls one in for Johnson. Nice header between two AIK defenders, but could not get enough on it, and it's really not a huge problem for Torino. Johnson has already shown us his prowess with the head. Those 3 goals against San Jose 6 days ago started with a beautiful header over an outstretched John Bush and into the side netting far post. He then scored with his right foot and his left foot. And that, my friends, is a true hat trick. But going back to Chara and how many miles he covers, the Timbers just recently signed a deal with Match Analysis, which is one of those technologically advanced, newfangled soccer statistic tracking systems. And I can tell you that they'll know exactly how far Diego Chara travels, how many touches he puts on the ball, where he spends most of his time, and it'll be a great tool for the Timbers in 2013. Chara tried a cheeky little back heel into Darlington Nagbe on a reverse ball, but didn't quite go off, and here's AIK pressing forward. Ball played out by Ryan Miller. Nice turn by Khalif Al-Hassan. Advantage by Toledo. Into the feet of Valeri. He spins and plays one just a little too far out in front of the Jamaican Ryan Johnson throw in AIK.
It's really good to see Khalif Al-Hassan out there. Speaking to one of the assistant coaches, I've heard that he has really matured this offseason. He's really come into preseason fit, willing to work, and very hungry. And that's something you want to see out of a young, gifted player like Al-Hassan.
Young indeed, Aiden, just 22 years old. Ball played in by Bowie, intended for Gustafsson, but it was too much, and Ricketts collects. Out wide now to Michael Harrington. Harrington acquired from Sporting KC during the offseason to Tucker Gagnes, first-round draft pick of the Timbers, U23 player for Portland. Into Valeri, came on a transfer deal from Lanús in Argentina. So as we mentioned, players from all over the place trying to make something special here in the Rose City. Andrew Jean-Baptiste, nice ball down the line, but headed forward by Eric Johansson. And winning the battle here on the near sideline is Nabil Bahoui. Bahoui looking for his forward, Kennedy Igboanike, and it did not miss him by much. He was defended by Harrington, but if Igboanike had a touch, he probably had a look with his left foot.
Yeah, Harrington unfortunately was on the wrong side of the ball there. He's on the outside. If he's able to take a touch inside and have a strike, you never know what could happen.
Ricketts drops the ball, then drives it forward. Johnson with a header, and it will roll into the goalkeeping gloves of Torino. Earlier this afternoon, FC Dallas and San Jose finished their stints in this preseason tournament at Jeld-Wen Field, and it was San Jose getting the 2-1 victory to wrap up their exhibition slate. Goals scored by San Jose from, well, who else? Wondolowski started the scoring for San Jose. Jackson equalized for FC Dallas, and then it was Mike Fucito with the game winner.
And then let's not forget John Bush saving a penalty late in the second half.
Yep, preserving that victory. Ryan Johnson with a beautiful touch in the near corner, drops for Al-Hassan, plays square, intended for Valeri, and AIK gets a foot on it. And then their coach, Andreas Alm, tries to bring down the ball from high out of the air in his technical area. Throw in for the Timbers. Ryan Miller into Johnson, and Johnson is clattered from behind by Daniel Mastarovic. And this will be a free kick here for the Timbers. Just off the corner of the 18, about 25, 30 yards from goal. Miller slow to rise.
We seen this preseason how dangerous Valeri can be with that right foot of his. Scored a free kick goal against Colorado down in Arizona. Put the ball in very dangerous spots.
I was looking at those results from Arizona again the other day, and obviously Ryan Johnson was the star last week with that hat trick, but before then, 7 different goal scorers for the Timbers down in Arizona. Valeri, two-man wall, bends it in, header over the crossbar there by Jean-Baptiste. Did not miss by much with his back-facing goal.
After a really successful 2011 with set pieces, last year was a little bit of a lull for the Timbers. They didn't quite find their man till late in the season, and it's good that they're starting out with that consistency early on here for the Timbers.
Valeri to take, Nagbe shows short. I really like that two-man setup out there in the corner, a la Barcelona, but Valeri will just drive it. He'll go far post. Nobody there but Chara for the Timbers, and clearing after a header and then a volley, Milosevic. Another throw in here for the Timbers. We are in the 26th minute. Keith Blyer and Aiden Brown high above Jeld-Wen field. Final game of the Timbers preseason tournament, and there is no score in this game. Shots on frame, certainly in advantage of, or the advantage to the Timbers. Darlington Nagbe probably the best look so far in this one from just outside the 18. Speaking of Nagbe, he collects, plays it square to Alisson. Quick footwork to get by one defender and then has to be fouled by the other, Johansson. Another free kick coming for the Timbers. 2 yards from the touchline here on the near side. And a yellow card has been issued to the captain for AIK, Nils-Eric Johansson.
And that's what you get when you leave Khalif Alisson out wide by himself. He's so dangerous, so cheeky, able to make people miss, foul, and get a yellow card. So dangerous in that one-on-one situations.
So the caution comes in the 27th minute. This will be Valeri to take. He's clearly going to be the man to restart all of the action for the Timbers in 2013 when he's on the field. Valeri with the right boot, 6-yard box. Ryan Johnson was there, but the AIK defender in front of him made it difficult over the crossbar. Goal kick for the Swedes.
We've seen 2 great balls in by Diego Valeri. Ryan Johnson's able to rise above the defender. Unfortunately, not able to put that one on target.
Timbers looking dangerous in attack yet again this evening. Ryan Johnson checks back, gets a ball from Harrington, works very hard to get it back again after it bounced off an AIK player. Now into Diego Valeri, but that ball is headed out by Johansson. Volleyed forward. Collected at midfield by Henrik Goitam. Out wide now to Gustafsson. Couple step overs. And now AIK will work their way across the field, switching the point of attack out wide to Nabil Bahoui. Defended by Miller, now double teamed by Alisson. Miller gets a touch, turns, thumps one down the touchline, and that will stay in bounds. Masterovic with a beautiful touch to Johansson. Back to Masterovic, the big number 45. Throws Will Johnson to the floor. And now the ball is at the feet of Quaison. And AIK opens the scoring from an improbable angle. Henrik Goitam with the Matador celebration. And the Swedes have taken the lead here in the 28th minute. 1-0 AIK. Wow, tough finish.
Yeah. Donovan Rickett comes out to close down the angle. The smart play just cuts. I don't know how he made that angle, especially with his left foot there.
Nice diagonal ball in, and he beat Ricketts to it. But the hard work was still to come as he puts it in from about a foot away from the touchline. 15 yards from that near post.
Tough break there for the Timbers after dominating the first 25 minutes of this game.
Ricketts, I think, would be replaying that one in his mind over and over again. We talked last week, Aiden, about those decisions that have to be made by professional goalkeepers in a fraction of a second. And many times the match hangs on those impulse decisions. Goal here by Henrik Goitam, and it is the first goal that AIK has scored in 3 weeks of preseason play here in the United States. having come in with 2 scoreless draws against FC Dallas and San Jose after losing to Ventura County 1-0 in California before coming north. Little flick over the top by Alisson, but Johansson reads it well. Nice volley in the center circle by Michael Harrington, and the Timbers are back in possession. Will Johnson is fouled from behind by Datum, the goal scorer, and a quick restart here for the Timbers. Actually, they're going to slow this one down just a little bit. Char will drop it back diagonally for Tucker Gangnes, out wide to Harrington. Harrington one touch to Nagbe. Nagbe dribbling forward, leaves it for Harrington. Square to Valeri. One touch to Chara, one touch to Nagbe. That one touch passing we've seen out of the Timbers to begin 2013. Now Ryan Johnson leaves for Nagbe. Touches around a defender to Valeri. Back to Nagbe. Nagbe, a penalty shout, but a shot here from the corner by Alisson is not a problem for Torina, the goalkeeper. You don't see Nagbe complaining too much for calls. I think he truly felt like he got fouled there inside the 18.
Yeah, Caleb Porter, after going down 1-0 against San Jose in the first 2 minutes, he really liked the response from his team to come back and get one back just a few minutes later. And you can see the Timbers are doing a similar thing here, pressing, trying to get that goal back.
They've had most of the possession. They've certainly had a number of dangerous restarts, corner kicks already, but they do trail AIK 1-0 here in the 31st minute. Valeri with his head up, always thinking 2 or 3 passes ahead. How about that ball? Into the corner for Miller, who will get there, drives it low, left-footed volley cleared by Masterovic. Back to Miller, now Alisson. Gets around one AIK defender and nearly a second in Johansson, who's got to kick it to the boards, and we've got a corner kick here on the near side for Portland.
What a phenomenal ball by Ryan Miller, getting that in the box. That is no easy task on a full sprint.
2 great passes. Long diagonal ball in by Valeri, and then the service, which we're going to see Ryan Miller making all year. Valeri's corner is overhit. Ryan Johnson is there at the far post, heads down to no one in particular. Ball played forward by AIK, and then Ryan Miller volleys one into the arc at the top of the 18. Masterovic keeps Jean-Baptiste at bay. AIK can clear the lines. Wanted to get your thoughts, Aiden, on a couple of the newest Timbers. First of all, Mikel Silvestre finally officially signed. The man who played 11 seasons in the Barclays Premier League, most with Manchester United, but Arsenal as well, although he is 35 years old.
Yeah, he is 35, but he brings a ton of experience to this locker room. A locker room that struggled last year at times with that experience. I think it's huge for the Timbers. They have 2 very young center backs, and this is a guy they can learn so much from. And not only those 2, but also David Horst. He's still fairly young in his career, and he's got a ton that he can learn from Silvestre as well.
Think about Silvestre having played 17 professional years. Left-footed volley and a nice diving save to his right by Donovan Ricketts to deny Celso Borges.
Yeah, good smart save by Donovan Ricketts. Doesn't want to leave anything out there, give up a rebound, give him another chance, so he just puts it out for a corner. Nice, safe, smart goalkeeping.
It's been a quiet start for the playmaker for AIK, Celso Borges, the 29-year-old Costa Rican. But he did have a look there, and Ricketts was forced to parry the ball away. Corner kick here for AIK. They play short and diagonal to the corner of the 18. Shot by Quaison is blocked by Nagbe. Valeri tries the little back heel and then a bicycle kick to play in Will Johnson. Ahead to Nagbe. Masterovic with a slide tackle on the 50-50. Ooh, beautiful turn here just below us by Quaison of AIK. Into Datum. Tries to get it back to Quaison, but there's Will Johnson, and he is fouled from behind. The dirty work done by Johnson to win the ball back for the Timbers here in the 34th minute. Jean-Baptiste plays short to Miller. Now Johnson, and they come out the other side, escaping the pressure. Is Portland. Nagbe spins. I agree, Aiden. I think Nagbe is so fun to watch, dribbling forward with the ball, and he's got plenty of opportunities to do that here this evening. Another spectacular ball, that time by Will Johnson, long and diagonally out of the midfield. Picking out some pretty passes here tonight. Those three midfielders that form the triangle in the middle of the park for Portland.
Yeah, definitely a much different team this year than last. I mean, a much more skillful team, I would say. A lot easier to keep possession with those types of players out there.
Masterovic into the feet of Borges, keeps it away from Will Johnson, square to Johansson, down the line to Bahui. Back to Johansson. Chest trap down in the center circle, doesn't quite come off, attempted there by Quaison. Gustafsson on the dribble, diagonal run in by Igbonike. He serves a header just over the crossbar. Another great chance. That was Martin Lorenzen of AIK.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much.
Nope.
Timbers got to be a little bit more careful. There is only one season of experience in those center back players, and I think they need to communicate a little bit more. There are two defenders right there marking that one AIK forward, so they need to communicate a little bit more.
Well, that goes back to the conversation we were having about Mikel Silvestre, who will come in, and who knows how much playing time he'll actually see for the Timbers. I think he'll see some. It's a long season. He could be one of those squad players and a leader, obviously, on the training pitch. And that experience will certainly be leaned on by Jean-Baptiste, Tucker Gangnes, David Horst, and we forget how relatively inexperienced Moscow is. Anya Mosquera, who, by the way, suffered that injury in the first half 6 days ago here at Jeld-Wen Field, and is not among the 18 tonight. Valeri, square to Harrington on the far side midfield. Chara into Nagbe. Nagbe turns, plays into Alassane. Alassane spins. Nagbe making a run off the ball. He's tripped. Alassane has to go square, and his boot, I think, was kicked from behind by the defender. Didn't get enough on that pass, therefore. And now it's a slide tackle by Ryan Miller that's needed to keep the Timbers in possession at midfield just below us. Will Johnson has some time and some space here as he dribbles easily around Goitom, and they play square to Tucker Gangnes. 37th minute, 1-0 AIK on a 28th minute goal from an improbable angle by Henrik Goitom. Valeri, beautiful pass to Michael Harrington. One-touch service. Oh, the half volley there on the attempt by Nagbe. Kind of shanks off the outside of his boot, and Ryan Miller's cross is deflected out. Interesting technique used there by Nagbe.
I still can't believe that Valeri threaded that ball through. I just don't. I said, no, that's being cut out. And sure enough, it got through. What a ball.
Tries again, does Valeri, but it's chested down to his goalkeeper by Lorenzen. Yeah, Valeri's one of those players, when I coach young people here in the state of Oregon, talking about what separates the good player from the great player, and I don't think it changes, even from U12 up to the professional levels in the world's most celebrated leagues. It's being able to read the game, think 2 or 3 passes ahead, and have that amazing technical ability to put the ball exactly where you want it. Valeri's as Will Johnson said this week, Valeri, he's legit. And for a fellow pro to call somebody legit is more than just a passing compliment. Throw in here on the near side for the Timbers. They go back to Jean-Baptiste. He'll play one in, diagonally intended for Nagbe, headed away by Milosevic. Down to Gustafsson. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You just hope in a league so physical that he can stay healthy for a majority of the season.
He is going to be key. You're right. Yeah. If he were to, as we knock on wood up here, and there's plenty of wood at Jeld-Wen Field, I think if he were to go down with a significant injury, the Timbers would have to reconstruct a little bit. Dribbling forward through the middle is Bahui, and a very poor pass, trying to play Igbonike in, way too much on it, and Bahui is looking at Igbonike as if he is the one that made the mistake.
Yeah, one thing a lot of foreigners don't realize is the toll that traveling takes on your body in this league. Yeah. It's such a huge country. You got guys coming from England who play in a country the size of California, and really traveling that much and coach for that matter, it's not an easy task.
Very unique to Major League Soccer. I don't think there's another league in the world that asks of its players the travel that is needed here in North America. That speaks to the need for that true squad be able to manage and rotate the players that you know can get things done. Goitom working on Andrew Jean-Baptiste at the top of the 18, heads down. Now the ball comes wide to Bahoui. Bahoui double teamed by Miller and Will Johnson. And Will Johnson knocks it out to touch. Throw in here for AIK. We are just about to enter the final 5 minutes of the regulation 45. AIK is leading Portland 1-0. 28th minute goal by the Swedish national Henrik Goitom. Eric Johansson throws one into the 18, knocked away by Ryan Miller. Now here comes Chara and Valeri, a pair of Diegos in the middle of the park this year for the Timbers. Ball knocked forward, Goitom the target, Jean-Baptiste the header. Johnson has the ball taken away from him by Borges. Into the feet of a front runner, now back to Quaison, Nabui, and then Igbonike. Igbonike flailing on the ground, trying to keep the team in possession. Timbers, however, come away with it. In their back third, Alassane, great poise to see Valeri straight down the field. He'll knock one wide with the outside of his right boot to Ryan Miller. Loose touch, has an opportunity for Johansson to knock it out right to the former Indiana Hoosier. Caleb Porter could play a little bit in his day. Injuries obviously put a halt to his professional career. Very short stint in MLS.
An intense player. That guy was a very fiery midfielder, that's for sure.
Very, very rarely do you hear about players turn coaches who are relaxed, nonchalant, and then wants to try coaching.
Yeah.
They're usually those intense competitors. Like Jason Kreis, Benny Olsen, Mike Petke, all now head coaches in Major League Soccer. All have the same attributes. Here's Bahoui working on Miller, has Miller turn. Bahoui will thump one into the ninth row of the Timbers Army. The Army appreciates the souvenir, but their experienced fans are going to toss that one back. They'd like to stay in the stadium. 42nd minute now. I'd like to ask you, Aiden, because you were here and I was not personally here on Wednesday when the Timbers lost 1-0 to FC Dallas. How did Frederick Piquion look? Most recently of Doncaster, but we know him from playing for West Ham, and he's a player getting a look.
Yeah, he was very solid in the air. I think the first half was really tough to get a look at him because we didn't have a lot of the ball, and obviously Dallas was playing their number one team, and we were playing the reserves and some trialists, so he didn't get to see a lot of the ball in the first half. But in the second half, you saw his qualities. He was very good in the air. Almost had a goal on a great ball in by Rodney Wallace. But other than that, we weren't able to see a whole lot of him because we didn't have the ball for a lot of the periods at the time.
Oh, you can bet with the injuries to DK and to Brent Richards, that's one of the reasons Frederick Piquion is getting a look here by the Timbers in late February. Darlington Nagbe had yet another chance to dribble at the heart of the AIK defense moments ago. Hung onto the ball perhaps a little bit too long. Defense collapsed and his shot was blocked, and now Donovan Ricketts will punt one forward. That little side approach that he uses. Will Johnson dispossessed in the center circle, but Alassane working hard to get it back. Square to Ryan Miller. Miller, the outside back, moving into the attack as Caleb Porter's outside backs will do. Valeri has a slide tackling Masterovic to deal with, and a throw in here for the Portland Timbers in the 43rd minute. Keith Blyer and Nathan Brown back for another season of Timbers soccer. Can't wait to get it started 8 days from now. Cross right across the top of the 6 by Alassane. There were no targets there for the Timbers. Nagbe arrives late, and he'll throw it in. Kind of a hospital throw-in, if you will. Hospital ball, as we say in soccer, to Harrington, but he manages to keep it away and finds a shot. Shanks it a bit, but nice moment there by Harrington to deal with the pressure after the lax throw-in from Nagbe.
It's really nice to see, after seeing them on Sunday and seeing the reserves go on Wednesday, it's nice to see them back out here with the same intensity, the same offensive firepower that they had on Sunday, not really missing a step.
I think this is your starting 11 minus maybe one player in 8 days against New York. Nagbe dribbling again into the corner of the 18, combines with Valeri. Wow, that would have been beautiful, but it's cut out by AIK right about the penalty spot. Nagbe and Valeri will make magic happen for the Timbers this season. Throw in here for AIK in front of their bench. Under a minute to play. Not sure how much added time we'll have. There has only been really one injury that has taken any time off the clock and no substitutions. Speaking of, unlimited substitutions are allowed in this preseason tournament by both sides, although they are only allowed to stop play 4 times each. That does not include any subs they make at halftime. Chest down by Ryan Miller for Valeri. Now Darlington Nagbe plays it into a diagonally running Ryan Johnson. Far corner now. Gets his head up for Valeri, and he nearly scored. Oh my goodness, at first I thought that was in. A leaping volley with the outside of his right boot, side netting on the wrong side of the goal at nearly the stroke of the half.
I think Ryan Johnson want to return the favor for the 2 assists Valeri had last weekend. What a great ball in and a great run by Valeri.
That was the most exciting moment of the first 45 for the Timbers. Wow, I think that glanced off the outside of the post, and Valeri puts both hands on the back of his head there in frustration, knowing that he was so close to scoring his first goal at Jeld-Wen Field. So the 45 are up. We are into stoppage time here, and there will be none. You hear the whistle of Baldomero Toledo. Possession in favor of the Timbers. Corner kicks in favor of the Timbers. Looks on goal. You could give the Timbers the edge as well. But all that matters is the score line, as we know in soccer, and it's AIK 1, Portland 0. Fletcher Johnson has the halftime show coming up next on 750 The Game.
Would like to thank all of our groups in attendance in tonight's game. Check out the Providence Fascia throughout halftime to find your group's name. Since 1960, when Jeld-Wen began with one Oregon millwork plant, we've been dedicated to crafting reliable windows and doors. Today you can see, touch, and feel reliability in our beautiful windows and doors because of their durability, energy efficiency, and worry-free performance. We measure our success by the relationships we build with our customers, suppliers, and communities where we live and work. We've partnered with organizations such as the Green Building Initiative, which accelerates green building practices by promoting environmentally progressive approaches that are practical, affordable, and accessible. KeyBank is a proud founding sponsor of the Portland Timbers. It's just one part of KeyBank's involvement with our community. KeyBank's also demonstrated commitment to Oregon by having opened over 16 new branches in the last 2 years to better serve consumers and businesses. Visit key.com and go Timbers. Papa Murphy's is excited about their partnership with the Timbers in 2013. If the Timbers score 3 goals tonight, you score 2 with free cookie dough from Papa Murphy's. Please see the guest services representative at various exits for your coupon for 1 free cookie dough, courtesy of Papa Murphy's. The coupons can be redeemed at any local Papa Murphy's. Papa Murphy's, join the Take and Bake revolution. Because caring about and helping people is a fundamental part of who they are, Alaska Airlines shares a proud history of employee involvement in corporate contribution, outreach, and sponsorship within the communities they serve. Whether through the Corporate Giving Program, our Alaska Airlines Foundation, or our Charity Miles Program, it's with great pride and humility they say, yes, we can help in so many worthy causes. Their commitment to the communities they service springs from their rich heritage as a pioneer in a state where aviation plays a vital role in the life of its residents. This proud legacy continues today in small and big ways, from employee participation in fundraising and fund runs to corporate sponsorship of major community outreach programs and charitable events. All right, Rose City, here's a recap of tonight's first half, brought to you by CenturyLink.
Coming up for the Providence first half wrap. But right now, let's go ahead and take a look around some soccer leagues around the world. Let's start in the Barclays Premier League. A couple matches there of interest. Fulham over Stoke City 1-0. Arsenal tops Aston Villa 2-1. Norwich City and Everton played earlier today 2-1 in favor of Norwich. QPR fell to Manchester United 2-0. Raphael Ryan Giggs with the goals for Manchester. Wigan tops Reading 3-0, and West Brom takes care of Sunderland 2-1. Spanish Primera Division, Mallorca falls to Getafe 3-1. It was Valencia and Real Zaragoza playing to a 2-2 draw. Real Madrid tops Deportivo La Coruña 2-1, and Barcelona gets a goal in the 60th minute from Lionel Messi. They beat Sevilla 2-1. One score from the German Bundesliga as Bayern Munich no trouble with Werder Bremen 6-1. Couple college basketball scores a note as well. The 23rd ranked Oregon Ducks on top of Stanford right now 30-26 at halftime, and Oregon State fell to Cal earlier today 60-59. Coming up, Aiden Brown will join me. We'll give you the Providence first half wrap. Take a look ahead to the second half as well. Timbers trailing AIK 1-0 at the break here on Sports Radio 750 The Game. Halftime show here on Sports Radio 750 The Game. 45 minutes in the books here at Jeld-Wen Field as the Timbers trail AIK 1-0. Aiden Brown joining me now for the Providence first half wrap. And Aiden, I think one of the things that was really impressive to watch last Sunday against San Jose was the creativity in this offense, especially from Diego Valeri, Ryan Johnson's finishing touch, Darlington Nagbe playing well, and that's something that certainly has continued tonight.
It really has, and that's really nice to see, especially at home and the way they're playing. I think Darlington Nagbe's looked great on that left-hand side. He's able to make some runs through that defense. Diego Valeri has found him a few times, and he's not afraid to turn and run at players. You know, sometimes he's been a little tentative to take players on and kind of change the game on his own, and tonight we've seen him kind of do that, and I think it's been very impressive to watch.
Over to the defensive side of things, you have one rookie and one second-year center back in Dylan Tucker-Gagnes and Andrew Jean-Baptiste, respectively. Those guys, more so Andrew Jean-Baptiste and Javier Mosquera on Sunday, had some moments where it was a bit scary back there. How do you feel that they've played thus far this evening?
You know, before the start of the preseason, if you were to say Tucker-Gagnes and Andre Jean-Baptiste were going to play the last preseason game before the regular season started, I think you'd call that person crazy. I think they've been impressive tonight. I think, sure, they have made a few mistakes here and there, but for one season in MLS combined between the two of them, I think that's very impressive. They've combined well, they've communicated well, except for the goal. I think you can raise your hand and say that, yeah, they've done a pretty good job here tonight.
When you look at this team as the Timbers, that is, the way they're currently constructed, you talked about coming into this match facing AIK, being able to break them down. Do you feel that they've been able to do that, and now they're just lacking that final piece, and they've had an opportunity a couple times that have just gone wide? Yeah,
they've had their opportunities, and you got to love what Caleb Porter's done with this team. He's really brought together this team and made an exciting multifaceted attack. I mean, you have your outside backs getting forward. You have combinations in the box. You had one with Darlington Nagbe and Diego Valeri towards the end of the first half. That was really fun to watch. And you have Ryan Johnson getting out wide and trying to feed Diego Valeri in the box.
Being that this is the final time the Timbers will play on this field against an opponent before a week from Sunday against the New York Red Bulls, how badly in the last 45 minutes do you think this team, Caleb Porter, wants to win this match, come from behind and beat AIK?
I don't think that's the biggest responsibility to finish the game with a win. I think if they continue what they did in the first half, if I'm Caleb Porter, I'm happy going into the season. If I'm still creating opportunities, if I'm still creating chances, just not able to put them away, if I don't give up anything more in the back, I'm going to be a happy coach.
Aiden Brown, thank you very much. That's our Providence first half wrap. Coming up in just a couple minutes, it'll be the start of the second half with Keith Blyer and Aiden Brown. A reminder, you can hear from Caleb Porter in his post-game press conference right here on Sports Radio 750 The Game, as we will have a half-hour post-game show for you. We'll take your thoughts and break down this one as it's the final 45 minutes of the preseason for the Portland Timbers, New York Red Bulls, a week from tomorrow. That one is a 4:30 kick, 3:30 pregame here on Sports Radio 750 The Game. And then a reminder, we'll have Talk Timbers presented by Jeld-Wen Windows and Doors, previewing that opening match against the New York Red Bulls this coming Tuesday night on 750 The Game from 6 to 8 p.m. with yours truly. That'll wrap up the Jeld-Wen halftime show. Thanks for being with us. Keith Blyer, Aiden Brown have the call. The second half next here on Sports Radio 750 The Game.
cool, crisp, but clear and relatively mild Saturday evening in the Rose City, at least for February. The temperature dipping down into the low 40s. But I look across at the flags here on the southeast corner of Jeld-Wen Field, and they are not moving much at all. I also think it's kind of a neat touch that one of the 3 flags over there is for the country of Sweden, which is where our visitors are from here this evening. AIK, Allmänna Idrottsklubben. That is the full name of the club over there. Obviously, they have other sports. Hockey, I would imagine, is a primary sport of emphasis.
Skiing.
Skiing, yep. You played professionally in Scandinavia, Aiden, in Norway. Did you ever come up against AIK in your travels?
We did. We played them in a preseason tournament as well at Olesen, where I played. Very dangerous team, very similar to what you're seeing here tonight. Very calm, very collective, very organized, and dangerous when they can break.
And very old. Everything compared to the United States over there in Europe is old. This club has been around, AIK, for 121 years. They have won the Allsvenskan, which is the top tier in Sweden, 11 times, although they have not won since 2009. Aiden mentioned that Anders Limpar, who went on to play for the Rapids in Major League Soccer, is a product of AIK, or played for them. Olaf Melberg is as well. They'll have a new stadium to greet them when they return to Sweden. But for us, it is mostly about the Portland Timbers, and we begin the second half as Ryan Miller rises high and falls directly on his back over the top of an AIK player out there who is remaining down. Timbers now working their way toward the Timbers Army on the north side of Jeld-Wen Field. And if you are interested in whom we might see play for the Timbers here in the second half, due to that unlimited substitutions rule, Sal Zizzo, Ben Zemansky, Jose Valencia, Rodney Wallace, Frederick Piquion that we discussed in the first half. And there's a new player for the Timbers who just came in yesterday and might get a look tonight. And that is Kyle Altman, coming from one of the lower divisions here in the United States, played for a team out in Minnesota. The second goalkeeper is Jake Gleason. Donovan Ricketts in possession, rolls one out to the right side, and Ryan Miller. There are no substitutions made by either team to begin the second half. Darlington Nagbe into Diego Chara, lets it slide by. Masterovic wins the ball twice. Nice little combination passing on the far side by AIK. And is it a foul or a throw-in? It will be a foul whistled by the referee, Baldomero Toledo.
One thing we haven't talked about much tonight is the Timbers pressuring very high, and we're still seeing that again here tonight. Just like last Sunday against San Jose, they're wanting to pressure high, win the ball back, and create something from that.
The time of when to pressure, when everybody steps in concert, is really the important part of picking up that pressing game and that concept of winning the ball back in your attacking half. Into the attacking half comes AIK. Out in the far corner, Ryan Miller does a very nice job of defending 1v1, and here come the Timbers. Diego Chara to Ryan Johnson on the counterattack, but he's got 3 AIK defenders to deal with. A couple scissors moves at the corner of the 18, drops for Alassane. Square to Will Johnson, one touch back to Alassane. He could have a rip from here. Instead, tries to play it into the feet of Valeri. And it's read by Masterovic. AIK comes out. Timbers thump it right back in, and the goalkeeper for the Swedish side, Torina, will collect with his feet. Ryan Johnson steps to press, and Torina will pick it up. Little game of cat and mouse there in the 18 as Ryan Johnson jumps at him a couple times. 3 minutes gone here in the second half. Torina the punt. Harrington the header. Johnson and Borges rise. Borges wins that one. Nice little ball in from Goitam to Igbonike. Now they go out wide to Bahoui. Bahoui, corner of the 18, bends one in. Diving header to clear out by John Baptiste. Alassane volleys back diagonally to Ryan Johnson. He thumps one forward to the chest of Ryan Miller, to Ryan Johnson. And here is Johnson spinning away from Borges. Chara cuts the ball back from his defender, Gustafsson. Now Will Johnson to Valeri. Head up twice already. That's the vision of Valeri, getting that head up so quickly. Couldn't pick out the pass he wanted that time, but the Timbers stay in possession. Miller out wide to Alassane, dribbling in. Oh, nice diagonal ball to Valeri. He shoots, and a low shot is knocked away at the feet of Ivan Turina.
Great idea there by Valeri. Ryan Johnson's making that run far post, so if the keeper gives up any sort of rebound on the back post, Ryan Johnson's right there to tap it in.
So used to Valeri picking out passes, almost surprised he shot that one.
Yeah.
But it was definitely on. Poor ball out wide by Ryan Miller. Goes over the touchline, and that gives AIK the ball back. Bit of a whiff down here by Johansson before he thumps it down the sideline. Headed out of bounds by AIK. Quick throw in by Will Johnson. Into Ryan Johnson. And he is fouled there by Martin Lorentzen. Free kick here for the Timbers. 30 yards from goal. 10 yards outside of the 18 here on the near side. Turina in a crouch, holding his near post, organizing his defense and setting up a three-man wall. AIK. Another wonderful preseason atmosphere at Jeld-Wen Field. Listen to that Timbers Army. AIK has an army of their own of fan supporters. They call it the Black Army over there in Stockholm. Valeri bends one near post. Diving save. Necessary by Turina. Will Johnson tries to whip one right back in. It's cleared by AIK, but now Alassane. Loose touch is knocked forward by the defense. Harrington decides to just whip one in with the left foot, and that ball comes down from high out of the air, collected by Turina.
Yeah, great ball on goal by Valeri there. Keeper doesn't get enough on it, just spills it out wide.
Valeri chest down, now volleys forward for Ryan Johnson. He chests down and then heads it into his path here on the near touchline. Dribbling into the attacking third. Johansson the defender. Johnson plays square to Will Johnson. Into Valeri. Now wide to Ryan Johnson. Gets his head up, cuts the ball back. Diagonal ball to Valeri. Valeri's first poor touch of the match. Comes nearly an hour in. That one got away from the Argentinian playmaker. Then a very poor pass by Goitom in the attacking half for AIK right to the feet of Ryan Miller. 52nd minute, 1-0. AIK. Final preseason match of the year for the Portland Timbers. Keith Blyer and Aiden Brown on 7:50 the game.
Great defensive work there by Ryan Miller. He's all the way in there. Their attacking third is able to come back all the way, retrieve that ball.
Lorentzen drops it back to Milosevic. Quick passing here on the near side by AIK. Johansson, square, headed away by Masterovic, and now down by Celso Borges. His job is to bring the ball down and start the attack for AIK. On the dribble is Bahoui, playing out wide to Igbonike, back diagonally. Oh, very important ball win there by Chara, but opportunity not gone here for AIK. Borges to Goitom. Little combination over the top. Great pass by Johansson. Goitom shovels away Harrington, and his shot is parried over the crossbar by Donovan Ricketts. Important save there by the number one for the Timbers.
And that save is a whole lot tougher than it looks. Imagine a guy 10 yards from you, able to tee up and kick the ball as hard as he can, and these are balls that go 70, 80 miles an hour. Imagine trying to react to that ball.
It was not from far away either, less than 10 yards. A little bit disconcerting that Harrington was muscled off that ball so easily inside the 18. Here's a corner kick for Bahoui of AIK. Outswinger, headed up into the air by Jean-Baptiste. Nagbe challenges, gets enough of it to feed Valeri. Great footwork by Valeri to Chara. One touch to Nagbe. He's got Ryan Johnson. Can't quite get the ball to him. Good defense there by AIK. Igbonike coming all the way back to help in defense.
Definitely the right idea there by Nagbe. He's just unable to get it all the way over to Ryan Johnson.
Good work by Igbonike, the Nigerian international teammate of Bright DK. Now Ryan Miller gets some time to look up and drive one in, too low, headed away. Chara collects. Now Valeri dribbling forward, corner of the 18, comes across the 18, and that volley comes off the left foot of Milosevic and out over the far touchline. Throw in here for the Timbers in the 55th minute. Valeri goes right back to the man who threw it in, Miller. Now to Nagbe, ahead for Al-Hassan, and his cross is knocked out for a corner kick. Valeri trots over to take. 28th minute goal by Henrik Goitom from a very tough angle. Ricketts had to come out. Goitom took the ball around him and then knocked it in, literally a foot from the end line. Valeri goes far post. Jean-Baptiste rises. Tucker Gagnus nearly scored for Portland. He was right in front of Torina. Huge save by the Croatian goalkeeper for AIK.
Very, very big save. And the two center backs combining there. That's usually one of the more dangerous balls, hitting a ball back post, having one of your most athletic guys cover that back post and send one back around. Unfortunately, Tucker Gagnus cannot get it into that net.
Wow. The two center halves for Portland in the advanced positions on the corner kick nearly pulled this one even. Harrington, throw into Nagbe, back to Harrington. The outside back lets it go. He'll get another throw, despite the protestations of Daniel Gustafsson. Johansson wins the ball for AIK in the corner off of Ryan Johnson. Tucker Gagnus does a nice job of keeping the ball away from Igbonike. Now Jean-Baptiste, long diagonal ball to the far corner. Header down out there by Lorenzen. Chara, Al-Hassan, headed down by Mastrojevic. Al-Hassan shielding from Goitom, draws the foul, quick restart. Now Al-Hassan overlapping run by Ryan Miller. Chips one in cheekily for Valeri, and Mastrojevic shields the ball away from Valeri so that his goalkeeper can collect.
He is a big boy.
He's got that shiny bald head. He's got a menacing look to the way he plays there and helps organize the defense. He's a regular for the Swedish national team, is Daniel Mastrojevic. Throw in far side midfield for AIK.
Kari Stevenson, the former San Jose Earthquake, who just signed with Real Salt Lake. He played for AIK a number of years ago.
Ball driven forward by the Swedish side. Goitom has it. Corner of the 18, can't quite control, however. Jean-Baptiste is on it, but he loses to Goitom. Square now to Bahoui. Bahoui finds a shot, and another strong save by Donovan Ricketts down to his right. It'll be a corner kick for the visitors.
Yeah, those toe pokes are very difficult to deal with as a goalkeeper. They knuckle on you. You're not really expecting it. So good, solid save there by Donovan Ricketts.
Not a lot of activity by the reserves for either team. AIK substitutes haven't even started moving. The Timbers reserves are now up and beginning their warm-ups, all ready to enter the action. That corner kick went over the top of everybody. Smart decision by Ryan Miller. Floats over the end line on the near side. Goal kick taken quickly by Ricketts to Tucker Gagnus. Down the line for Ryan Johnson. Drops back for Darlington Nagbe, who keeps it away from Borges. Nagbe to Al-Hassan in the center circle. Spins away from his defender, Bahoui. Now into Valeri, who is offside by a step. Valeri takes a shot, falls directly on his back, kind of whiffed the attempt, but he was offside anyway. That was close.
It was. And it's good to see he's not only content with creating, he also wants to get on that score sheet as well. You love seeing that from your playmaker.
He's been offside a couple times. this evening, so the timing is not quite perfect. You wouldn't expect it to be on February 23rd. Quaison dribbling forward for AIK, leaves it to Goitom. Now Bahoui chipping over the top, a little too much, and Ricketts collects. Looks to distribute quickly, nothing on. So he's going to give it the old punt in the 60th minute. Nearly an hour gone here with AIK leading 1-0 at Jeld-Wen Field. Valeri tries to head one over the top for Ryan Johnson. Too much. AIK moving forward, and not a lot of rhythm to this second half thus far. Each team has it for a couple passes and then gives it up. Igbonike loses out to Diego Chara. Great spin move out wide by Alassane. Plays into the feet of Valeri. Valeri looks to switch the point of attack through Will Johnson. Johnson plays it diagonally here to the near side. Darlington Nagbe dribbling forward, shoots, but right into the chest of Torino. You know, you made some very cogent points at halftime, Aiden. Some of your best work, by the way, at halftime.
You.
Yeah, the fact that I was listening, I pay attention. Tucker Gagness and Jean-Baptiste, your starting center halves in the final preseason game. You're right, that is a major surprise. The other thing about Nagbe, I think this has been a really strong match for him, and we're seeing kind of his new role. A lot of the ball, a lot of it wide, and a lot of it going forward. Given more license, I think, and maybe more inspiration from his college coach, Caleb Porter. Valeri turns, corner of the 18, looking for Nagbe, but just over the top of Darlington. And a quick clearance out to touch by AIK. Harrington to throw in, the outside back all the way up in the attacking third, but drops it for Dylan Tucker Gagness. Little Cruyff move to keep it away from Goitom. And now Will Johnson, diagonal to Harrington. Harrington loses control. No, draws the corner kick. Yeah, corner kick here for the Timbers. My apologies, in the 61st minute.
Gagness is so composed. I can't imagine being a rookie and just pulling a Cruyff move right there when you're the last man.
Will Johnson's going to take this corner kick, and defender and goalkeeper collide in the 6 for AIK, but they do the job and get it out. Johnson, quick restart. Harrington in the corner. Some fancy moves there on the ball. Drops it back for Will Johnson. I think it's the first time I've seen anybody but Diego Valeri take a restart. Corner kick, free kick for the Timbers. Now it's Alassane. Little step over moves in the corner, exciting the Timbers army. Plays it forward just in front of Chara and Will Johnson. Too much. Goal kick, AIK.
So cheeky in that offensive third. He's able to take players on, make them miss, get those balls in the box.
Yeah, the skill and the flair has never been in question when talking about the Ghanaian, Khalif Alassane.
It's really good to see his defensive work this year.
Yep.
I mean, the last 2 games I've seen him play, he's really done well in that defensive third and really worked hard.
It is starting to click for the 22-year-old Timbers attacker. Nagbe to an overlapping Will Johnson in the near corner, working on Johansson. Johnson, right-footed chip for Valeri, but doesn't quite get to him, and Masterovic clears. Jean-Baptiste collects in the center circle, and here come the Timbers again. 63rd minute, Nagbe. Couple rollovers to Harrington on the overlap. Back to Nagbe. Gets beyond Borges. Borges fell. Valeri in the 18, curls one for the far post, and a diving save to his left by Torina. He will also collect that nicely and distribute quickly. Chara chest down. Miller, Alassane, spinning, playing Chara in, but too much. Masterovic drops for Torina. Last 8 to 10 minutes, all Timbers.
Yep.
Ricketts has made a couple strong saves, but those were 10 and 12 minutes ago. Alassane plays one side of the defender and runs around the other, toying a little bit with Johansson out there.
Yeah, when Khalif Alassane's all alone, all by himself, Timbers need to know when they're going to make those runs in the box. It is a little difficult to read him and when he's going to put the ball in the box.
Valeri corner, far side. Baptiste rises to head. Goitom was there, and he got a bit of Baptiste the Beast. Now Nagbe, left-footed square ball in the 18, and kicked out in a panicked fashion by the Swedish side. It does appear that a goal is in the offing here for the Timbers, but not before a pair of Fleer player substitutions. And they will come by AIK, so a very quick warm-up over there in the corner by number 22 and number 28 for AIK. Victor Lundberg and Kwame Amponsa Kari will be coming on for the visitors. Coming off, the goal scorer, Henrik Goitom, and number 24, Daniel Gustafsson. So a Canadian in Kwame Amponsa Kari, and a very promising young Swede in Victor Lundberg on for AIK. He had a team-high 5 assists last year in the Allsvenskan, the top league there in Sweden, did Victor Lundberg. Timbers have yet to make a change. You can bet they are coming here in this final preseason match of the year. AIK working the far corner. Ball won by Alisson as he swims past an AIK defender. Might have been a foul in that, but Toledo says no, and here come the Timbers. Valeri, long driven ball across the field, intended for Nagbe, but well read by the substitute, Victor Lundberg. Tucker Gagnes, pressured up top by Igbonike. Lundberg here, chips over the top of Harrington for Igbonike, and a throw-in for the Timbers, last off the foot of the Nigerian. 66th minute here at Jeld-Wen Field. Keith Blyer and Aiden Brown along with Fletcher Johnson. Still 1-0 to the visitors. 28th minute goal by Henrik Goitom.
You got to think we're going to see Piccione here at some point. Obviously in on trial. Love to see him with the first team, see what he's capable of.
Kari had a touch out there for AIK, now to the corner. Ball driven in, Kari with a header, misses the far post by about a yard. Bright start by the reserve, Kwame Amponsa Kari.
Yeah, that didn't miss by much, and that's where communication comes into play for those two young center backs.
Ricketts, the goal kick, gets the ball back from Tucker Gagnes, now to the feet of Alisson. Great vision there by the goalkeeper, Ricketts, to play the feet of a midfielder at midfield. During the run of play out wide to Miller. Now Alisson, now to Valeri. Valeri really starting most of his runs from a forward position and checking back into the midfield. He's played alongside Ryan Johnson for a lot of the match tonight. We're in the 68th minute now. Alisson, square to Valeri. Quick short touch to Nagbe trying to combine, and Nagbe's chopped down by Celso Borges. Nagbe too quick for Borges there, and this will be a free kick for the Timbers, about 40-45 yards from goal straight away. Valeri plays quick, catches the AIK defense napping. Harrington, one touch, left-footed cross. Kari with a bit of a whiff in there, just enough, however, to distract Will Johnson, who might have had a chance to collect and strike it on goal.
Great early ball in by Harrington. Caught the AIK defense sleeping a little bit.
Tucker Gagnes on the back line into Nagbe, who plays it one touch out. Gagnes too much there for Harrington. It's over the top of Harrington's head. Throw in at midfield, just below us here for Martin Lorentzen and the team that is in the lead. Victor Lundberg with a touch into Celso Borges, now to Lundberg. Playing in tight spaces right now is the AIK midfield. Turns and drives one down the line, does Lundberg, and it's too much. Out of bounds, Will Johnson to Chara, to Alisson. Some nifty footwork in the center circle by Khalif, but His ball forward is picked off well by Milosevic. And how about the chest trap out of Caleb Porter?
Still got it.
He is not going to use his hands. Oh, that's a nifty little moment as Ivan Turina, the goalkeeper for AIK, drove one out to touch. It was headed on a laser right to the coach for the Timbers, Caleb Porter, and rather than catch that ball, he chests it down. Might have ruined the cardigan sweater, however. We don't want that. And I don't have confirmation that it is cardigan.
I think it's the pullover.
A little V-neck pullover out of Porter tonight. Chilly evening. Will Johnson, trap, shoots, knuckler. Turina has trouble, but how about that moment of brilliance by the defender Masterovic to head it right back to Turina, who catches.
A very, very smart move by the veteran. But what a shot by Will Johnson. If you hit these balls just correctly, it's like a Charlie Huff knuckleball. And that time he hit it perfect.
It's those balls that don't have many panels. They almost have that rubber look to them, and they do knuckle, there's no question, compared to the older style balls. And we will have our first substitution of the evening for the Portland Timbers. Your Fleer player substitution, Ryan Johnson coming off and getting a nice moment there with his head coach, Caleb Porter. Here is an interesting 20-plus minutes for number 45 up top for the Timbers. Frederick Piquillon is now on the field and gets an early touch from Valeri. Piquillon, top of the D, top of the 18. Plays it square to Alassane. He's got Miller even wider. Instead, cuts to the inside. Alassane now will drop for Will Johnson. Johnson one touch wide to Miller. Great look there by Johnson. Low cross, not very good. Johansson heads away. But to the feet of Miller, into Valeri, and Valeri loses it over the touchline, throw in for AIK. So the 34-year-old Frederick Piquillon, whom we know from his days with West Ham United in London, an experienced European soccer player, getting a look here. He goes in for Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, he is a French international as well, has one cap for the French international team.
Celso Borges over the top for Kari Kari. He brings one down, defended by Tucker Gangnes, who does just enough. But no, he does draw a goal kick. Very nice job by the former University of Washington Husky. Facing some serious pressure from Apansa Kari Kari. 72nd minute now. AIK clinging to a 1-0 lead. Goal came back in the 28th minute.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the discussion of starting backs when the preseason started. You got to love second round draft pick.
Second round, yeah.
You know, what a great story.
Played for the under-23s for the Timbers. Ryan Miller has a look for Diego Valeri, and a very acrobatic clearance there by Milosevic. If not, Valeri was lying in wait right at the PK spot. Miller trying to find Alassane on a combination in the far corner. Instead, they draw the throw in here in the 73rd minute. Back to Jean-Baptiste. He'll serve one in. Looking for Piquillon. He gets a touch, but with his back to goal. AIK comes out. Ball played forward, too much for the front runner for the Swedish side. Kari Kari. Ricketts collects with his feet. Out wide to the left, and Jean-Baptiste. Will Johnson spinning away from Celso Borges. Down the line, diagonal run made by Piquillon. Lays it off for Darlington Nagbe. Nice look there by the Frenchman. Nagbe starting to tire a little bit, it seems. Moving slowly at the moment, anyway. Nice combination passing on the far side by AIK. Now they switch the point, and here comes Celso Borges on the dribble. Plenty of time. Corner of the 18, lays it out for Lundberg. Drives one low. Shot just misses the far post. That was Igbonike. And he had a nice look from the PK spot here in the 74th minute.
Yeah, I don't think you want to have players that wide open in the top of the box, from the penalty spot. That's a very, very dangerous opportunity there for AIK. Should have been converted for a second goal.
There have been moments of weakness out of the defense tonight for the Timbers. AIK has taken advantage, but only once. Piquion heads on for Valeri. Great touch in for Nagbe. Darlington is so frustrated with himself because he knows with a better first touch he was in on goal. Piquion did a nice job there to play in Valeri, who looked for Nagbe. Timbers back in possession. 74th minute, temperature dropping. I think we might have hit the upper 30s now. Valeri turns, plays the ball square out to Harrington. He'll be defended by Lundberg. Harrington one touch into Nagbe. Corner of the 6 now. Lays it back for Harrington, who shoots and scores! Low side netting, far post, beautiful goal. We're all square at Jeld-Wen Field. Pretty stuff, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, we talk about interchanging positions. That's exactly what happens right there. Darlington Nagbe makes a phenomenal run through the box. And Harrington, this is something you can learn as a youth soccer player. He plays the ball, and he doesn't just stand there. He moves right after he plays the ball and moves. Creates some space for himself, and what a great finish, side netting.
Darlington Nagbe with a moment of brilliance as he collects, turns, drops it back perfectly for Harrington. And the other thing you can tell your youngsters, Aiden, is you don't have to hammer the ball. Inside of the right boot, just picked out that far post. And the result may not matter, although Caleb Porter is quick to say we play to win every match. It is game on here in the final preseason match as Chara tries to play in Piquion, and Chara, I think, took an errant arm from Celso Borges, perhaps. He is down and holding his face. Yellow card. So it was not Borges. I believe it was Milosevic who threw the wing there at Chara. And I'm surprised we are not going to see a free kick here. If it's a throw-in on the far side, then what is the caution for? Might have been dissent. A bit confused by the sequence of events there, but the Timbers have earned a corner kick here in the 76th minute. Michael Harrington, the 27-year-old from the University of North Carolina, equalizes. Valeri, corner kick, 6-yard box, over the top of Tucker Gangnes, who is stretching all of his frame to try to get to that one, and the counterattack is on. And it is a 3-on-2 here at the moment for AIK. Victor Lundberg has the ball inside the 18, shoots, diving save to his right by Donovan Ricketts. And then Ryan Miller finally plays out to the feet of Diego Valeri. And here we go the other way. Alassane actually will slow things up here. Big save by Ricketts.
Very big. Also a great job there. I think it was Jean-Baptiste who clears away the second ball we saw in the game against San Jose, where Ricketts gives up a rebound after a great save. They're able to score their third goal that way. It's very important with these balls and the movement that they have to cover up that second ball in the box.
Tucker Gangnes having some really nice moments here in the second half on the ball, showing his skill, his technical ability to keep it. Caleb Porter, however, not happy with the fact that they're not going forward at the moment. He just waved his arm in rapid fashion toward the opponent's goal. Not happy with decisions being made at the moment out of the Timbers. Poor ball out there wide by Ryan Miller over the touchline. It was intended for Alassane, but AIK gets it back.
And like you said, Keith, they're not content with a tie here. They're still pushing forward. They're trying to get that winning goal there.
I think that's the message that's being sent by Caleb Porter more than anything else. Kari now in the corner working on Tucker Gangnes for AIK. He drops it to Bahoui. Bahoui goes far post for Victor Lundberg, who heads it back across the face of goal. Jean-Baptiste heads away. Here come the Timbers. They've got a 3-on-3, perhaps a 4-on-3 of their own. Diego Valeri dribbling. Diagonal ball out wide, too wide for Nagbe, but he will get there in the corner. Defended by Masterovic. Nagbe can have some fun here. Lays one in, and Piquion was there, but it was headed away. Shot by Chara, blocked by the AIK defenders. Now it's Alassane at the corner of the 18. Looking for Valeri, played out by Johansson. Alassane will drop for Miller. AIK defense at 6 and 7s now. Drops for Will Johnson. And the Timbers take the pressure off, which surprises me a little bit.
I don't think anybody in the MLS has a quicker first step than Darlington Nagbe. Reminds me of a very young Steve Ralston.
Yeah, you don't need the moves if you've just got that step, that speed. Ralston never had these incredible moves, but he would get by defenders with a lightning quick first step. Ball played forward by AIK. Tucker Cagness is going to leave it for his goalkeeper, Donovan Ricketts. Yeah, we're talking about that message being sent by Caleb Porter, more animated right now than he has been throughout the entire match. And I think he wants to show his side that, you know, we are not content to just pull one back and get out of here at 1-1. Not on our own field. Even when the result, you know, theoretically doesn't matter. And there's Valeri to step to the keeper, Torina, to force him to pick up the ball so that he can't waste any more time. 14,968 here to watch the Timbers play their final preseason match, the last examination, if you will, before the grades start to come. Fast and furious. There is a injury here and some stoppage on the part of AIK. Player down just outside their 18, I think. Okay, thank you, Fletcher. It is Nils-Eric Johansson, the captain. He is now on his feet. Talking about those tests that will come fast and furious. Let us lay out the regular season. At least the first 3 games for you. A week from tomorrow. Kickoff just after 4:30 right here at Jeld-Wen Field against the New York Red Bulls. That is Sunday, March 3rd. You should have had that date circled in red ink for months now. But then after that, it's Montreal that comes to town on Saturday the 9th. So 2 quick matches here at home in 6 days. And then the Timbers will head north on I-5 and take on the Seattle Sounders.
I'll tell you what, I really like the hiring of Mike Petke, especially an organization that's really gone with foreign coaches for a number of years. A guy who really has been there, done that, knows the league extremely well.
And has an amazing amount of passion and clearly experience for soccer there in that tri-state area. Kari crosses for a Celso Borges volley that missed by about 1.5 feet. And again, the Timbers, when pressed around the outside, have looked a bit disjointed. They've been wonderful in attack, but I mean, there are a pair of players there that are open in the 18.
Yeah.
That ball wasn't even intended for Borges. And he arrived late. Harrington frustrated with his lads there in their own box. Under 10 minutes to play. In fact, nearly under 8 minutes. We're in the 82nd minute. Darlington Nagbe making it difficult on a ball that was headed forward by Piquion. Torina collects. Lays it out here for Milosevic.
And again, we see how dangerous Piquion is in the air.
Coming up the right side, Lorenzen for AIK. Lundberg makes a diagonal run in front of him. Borges tries to pick out Kari, and it's won by the Timbers. Jean-Baptiste to Diego Chara. Chara to Alisson. Clearly, as this match winds down, although I have a feeling we will have plenty of activity between now and the final whistle, the strategy out of AIK has been we're going to make just a couple substitutions and get our players match fit, the ones that we want to play in the Svenska Cup, Sweden's cup competition. They start on the 3rd, much like the Timbers do against the New York Red Bulls. And the Timbers aren't going to make a bunch of substitutions either, although one is about to come here for Portland. Darlington Nagbe keeps one in on the near touchline, plays square for Valeri. He's got Will Johnson, instead goes wider to Alisson, and that one is going to be a bit too much. Curling out over the end line. Goal kick for AIK, and that'll give the Timbers a chance to bring on a substitute. Darlington Nagbe will be coming off. I mentioned that he was looking a bit fatigued. And coming on, your Flair player substitution in the 84th minute. Nagbe off, Jose Valencia, the Colombian, on. And that means, Aiden, that Valencia is a player that has seen action in every single preseason match. I think he just might be one of those options off the bench for Caleb Porter right out of the gates here this season. And here's Valencia dribbling into the 18 outside of the right boot. Does not miss by much.
And that's right after him and Khalif Al-Hassan switch sides. Valencia naturally right-footed. Does a great job to get on the end of that. Shows some individual skill. Unfortunately, doesn't put that one on goal.
He slid right between two AIK defenders with ease. But just tried to pick out the low right corner of the net and scratches his head as he jogs back to the middle of the park. Good look on goal, perhaps to win this match within 20 seconds of his insertion. That makes the coach, Caleb Porter, feel good. And I do think that Mr. Valencia will be that dynamic player off the bench for the Timbers
I tell you
this
what,
season.
That's great to see him out there, especially after spending all year on the injured reserve list with that meniscus injury.
Yep, gets another touch here, plays it out wide to Ryan Miller, gets the ball back, corner of the 18, stumbles a little bit, plays it back to Miller. Again to number 20, Jose Valencia. Flicks one back to Miller. Miller this time will serve. Low, cleared out by Masterovic without a problem. And now it's Jean-Baptiste to Will Johnson. We are in the final 5 minutes of the 90. Here at Jeld-Wen Field, we are tied at 1. Henrik Goitom scored in the 28th minute for AIK on a very difficult shot from a tough angle. And then a beautiful goal. Combination work from Michael Harrington and Darlington Nagbe. And it was Harrington that scored to draw the Timbers even. Ryan Miller gets the ball from Valeri, back into Valeri in the 18, leaves it for Chara. Chara shoots, it's blocked there by Milosevic. Jean-Baptiste to Valencia. Back to Will Johnson as the Timbers press for the winner. Whoops, little bit of a sloppy touch there by Tucker Gagnes, but Harrington will run it down. He'll play square to Johnson. Johnson turns, looks to the far corner, plays a long diagonal ball to Miller. Miller might as well be a third forward with how far advanced he's been playing in the last 15 minutes. Valeri to Piquion, inside for Miller, who, I'm going to be frank, dived. I do not see a foul there at all. The Timbers Army does, but I'm just calling it like I see it there. I think he was trying to pull one from the referee and give his team a penalty kick. Not a bad idea by Miller, but not a foul.
And I think you're taking place from my book now, making up your own words.
What was the word I used?
Dived.
Dived.
Hey.
Yeah. There are some that say that is the way to say it. I don't know.
I hear it's contagious.
Dove, dived. At least I didn't say he had divin. That wouldn't have been good. Piquion is in on goal here. The flag stays down. He cuts his defender. Left-footed shot. Great save by Ivan Turina. Piquion had a chance to become an instant Timbers hero. Did a nice job of cutting his defender there, working in on the right side.
Seeing him with the first team, he's definitely a lot more lively, definitely a lot more chances to score, a lot more created around him, so it's nice to see what he's capable of in first team football.
Stoppage here. Players are confused as to why, as am I. In the 88th minute, 2.5 minutes left in the regulation 90. There's no added time to the first half. There have been a couple stoppages here for substitutions and one injury that required some attention from the AIK trainer. Will Johnson dribbling on a diagonal through the center circle, cuts it back with the outside of the right boot. Ball picked off by Celso Borges. Bahui. Square now to Lundberg, but Harrington wins and shields. Lundberg, however, wins the ball from Harrington, curls one in. Kari is offside, and that is a good thing for the Timbers. Flag went up very quickly here on the near side as he had gotten in behind Ryan Miller. And that's the problem. When you press forward, you are susceptible to the counterattack and those diagonal balls. But Kari, the Ghanaian, was offside. Piquion shielding just outside the 18. Plays it square for Valencia. Brings that ball down with his midsection. Now working on the captain, Johansson. Spins around, a full 360 out of Valencia. Another 360, pulls the ball back with the outside of his boot. Square for Will Johnson, who scuffs his shot. Now he's saying it was deflected. Yep, deflected. Corner kick, Timbers.
Great bit of individual skill there by Valencia getting the ball in the box. Will Johnson does a nice job to take it down. Tries to hit it on goal. Unfortunately, it was deflected.
Johnson takes the corner kick. Jean-Baptiste rises. I think it also went off Kari. And an AIK defender in Milosevic is down, holding the back of his head inside the 18. Torino will throw the ball out over the far touchline. Timbers Army, you can hear what they think of this injury/tactic. Always hard to decide whether there's a significant moment of pain here for the defender or a bit of the dark arts. Well, to Milosevic's credit, he's quickly up, now walking outside of the 18. There will be a substitution here as the seconds tick away. 89 minutes and 50 seconds gone. And the man that will be coming on for AIK, wearing the white number 5 jersey,
replacing number 4, Nils-Eric Johansson,
is Robert Amon Persson. And he'll be coming on here in the final moments of this match. There will be 3 minutes of added time. The player who came off is the captain, Nils-Eric Johansson. So Amon Persson on for Johansson, and we are into the added 3 minutes here at Jeld-Wen Field. Throw in on the far side for the Swedish side. Borges plays down the field, but Jean-Baptiste picks it off. Valencia dribbling, great pace. Working now out there on Lorenzen. Double teamed by Lorenzen and Borges. They'll drop to Ryan Miller. Perhaps switch the point of attack here through the center halves. Yes, Jean-Baptiste to Tucker Gangnes. Gangnes will curl one over the top, intended for Piquillon. That's not a bad ball. Tried to put some backspin on it so it would hang up, but it does go over the end line. And a goal kick here for AIK.
What's your impression been of the two center backs?
Good question, because as we began this match, Fletcher asked me in the pregame show whom I was watching, and I said it was that young pairing. I think they've been good, shown great poise on the ball. I am a little bit concerned about the crosses that have come in from AIK and open players in the box. Been some dangerous moments. Valeri over the top for Jose Valencia. One player to beat, cuts it back. Still on the ball, trying to find a shot. He does, great save, but a goal is going to be pulled back here offside. Will Johnson. Torino made an incredible save down to his right.
World-class save, that was phenomenal. Reached behind him.
Yeah, that was top shelf stuff there. Torino's had a fantastic matching goal for AIK. And Will Johnson was offside. That was a good call by the officials here. Nearly won it, however, for the Timbers. Valencia hung onto the ball for so long that you started to think the window was closing. However, that gave the Timbers a chance to get some players in the box. Portland pressing, trying to get the game winner. We have less than 1 minute in the added 3. Stoppage time at Jeld-Wen Field. 1-1 your score. On the dribble is Quaison, corner of the 18. And Diego Chara says, no, you won't. Lays it out to Valencia, to Ryan Johnson. Perhaps one more look here for the Timbers. Square ball to Chara, and they play it well back behind Valencia, and that just might do it here. He's going to play all the way back to Ricketts, who thumps it forward. There it is. You heard the final whistle. The Timbers will settle for a 1-1 draw in their final quiz of the preseason. AIK won, Portland won. And now it gets good. The regular season, 8 days away. But first, the post-game show from Jeld-Wen Field. Fletcher Johnson will have that after this on 750 The Game.
Would like to remind our fans, always have a designated driver for after the game. Sign up at the Budweiser Good Sport booth at the Guest Services Center. Spread the word. One designated driver will be awarded a prize pack following each match. Thanks for being a good sport and drinking responsibly. Take a look at the video board for highlights of tonight's match, brought to you by CenturyLink.